I had my company before that, Electronic Creatives, but I really kind of put a lot more effort into it after that because I had stopped touring. So I started giving a lot of tours to friends of mine, people that were working for my company, and kind of ramped up on that that area after that.
Well, yeah, let's talk. Tell me about your company a little bit, Electronic
Yeah.
Creatives, and because I know you've done a bit of teaching, and you've trained quite a few engineers to kind of head out on some pretty massive tours as well, and they've kind of gone through your program. What is the program? What is the company?
So the company originally started in 2011 when I got a call from a little known artist management called The Weeknd. And at the time, he was just starting to pop off. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And they said, hey, do you want to do this tour? And I said, well, I can't do it, but I have this other person who I think would be great for it. And I called my friend and I said, hey, The Weeknd got this tour. Do you want to do it? And he was like, who?
Right.
It's great. Like, you're going to love it. And so that was kind of how it started. I just was getting a lot of calls for work where people wanted to hire me, and I wanted to take the gigs but couldn't. So I started training people, and then pretty soon, my company started growing, training more people, and then I got the idea to train people more than one person at one time, which seemed like a smart idea, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was spending all this time training one person, and then another person, and then another person.
We all learn. I went through that journey. Yep.
So I started Master Track, which is our playback engineering program.
Cool.
And just, built up basically an agency for playback engineers, as well as an education wing, which is Master Track.
Is that what it? So it sounded like an agency initially, but it was cool. I mean, because it's this hybrid thing, because you actually train them to get to a point where you feel confident enough. Whereas, like, in music or in the acting world or anything, agents aren't training their people. They're not putting them through a training program. But it's kind of like it's almost like an apprenticeship, more or less, that then you send them off. But is it structured? Is it still kind of a hybrid of training, education, and agency, or are those pretty separate, as in, like, you have your roster, commission-based, you send them off, that deal, and then you also have your training programs?
I mean, it's still very much integrated, but I only hire folks that I really feel are going to be good for the company and for the brand,
Sure.
So, like, for the training program, we do vet people pretty heavily because we, these are trade secrets and we don't want just anyone coming in and, taking them. But, at the end of that, a lot of the people have gone out and just done their own thing. And then some folks I've snagged and said, okay, you're awesome, you're coming with us.